We're busy now. We got Tom Sizemore in studio.
Yes.
Welcome, Tom.
Hi, how are you? I'm writing a poem right now. Excuse me.
Are you
writing a poem?
No,
a poem. You don't seem like the write a poem kind of guy.
I am, though.
Yeah?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah.
In touch with your feelings and
I feel
stuff?
like New York City is really hot. I'm glad I moved.
That's
very good.
That's
That's
a
a pretty
poem.
good poem.
It's more of a
Tom.
haiku.
No, I
but
wish
it's
I
good.
hadn't moved. Last night I said to my manager, Charles Lego, I can't think enough of everything, but I said, God, I never should have moved out of here. And then this morning we were walking over here and we got the wrong directions and we ended up Central Park and it was really hot.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, oh my God, I wish I never. Why am I here? It's just New York has that thing. It does to you.
Yeah, you lived here initially?
Oh yeah, I lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
I lived here from '84 through '91. I lived here, and then I had an apartment here through '98.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
You when you move out to LA out of necessity?
Well, you got to.
Well, that's where
But you kind of got to go there unless you. I don't know. You don't have to, but
I
I'm
got
taking the bar in Washington State and trying to practice law in New Orleans.
Right.
Can't do it.
I got to ask how you been since Celebrity Rehab, because we all saw you on TV there. Wow.
What was it? I never really saw it except for a little bit. I asked my brother. I said, "Tell me about the parts where I look good." And he went, "Well, there aren't any." So you don't have to watch.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you.
He said, "Well, tell me the parts where I seem like I got my shit together." He went, "There aren't any."
Those either? Oh,
I said, "Well, tell me about the parts." He said, "Tom, it's a train wreck, man. Okay,
Tom-
dude, don't watch it."
You made for some good TV. Holy shit, you're pretty fucked up.
I don't know what good TV. I don't know necessarily being well.
Well, I mean, it was entertaining from where I sit, and I certainly
you're a real asshole.
and I certainly thank you, by the way. And I certainly hope you're doing
I'm
okay.
joking, Opie.
Yeah, I know.
I'm 2 years and 117 days clean today.
Awesome.
Because,
Wow,
because of
shit.
that.
That's
because
cool.
of Celebrity
Not
Rehab.
just because of celebrity rehab. I mean, it was the
It was just time,
the icebreaker.
right?
Yeah,
So
that
to
was
speak.
it.
It was the first step. I was tired of it. I had called Drew before that show and was begging him to take me into treatment. It got bad,
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's another thing. It was so public, and it seemed to have come out of nowhere because everybody knew Tom Sizemore as, wow, this guy's a really good fucking actor. Great career, great movies,
The press,
and then out of nowhere,
the TMZ Life We Live Now. Mm-hmm. They are hey, look, they're the shot callers. Whatever they print, everybody runs with it.
Right.
yeah, it's
They
true.
They
no
could
matter
say
what.
that mongoloid serial killers loose in the Empire State Building,
yeah,
and they're going to evacuate it,
Right.
Yes.
and maybe tear it down.
Right.
Now, because they go first, then everybody follows.
Right.
And because of the internet and this great information highway of bullshit, which is
true,
largely
man.
about sex and bullshit, because I call it sex shit, and you have a bunch of bullshit, and it's ugly, and it's listen. I've been out of the game for a while, and I did not know that we were living in a world where every goddamn move you make is documented.
Yep.
And if you're a celebrity and you're someone they don't like or you've had some problems, listen, I did do drugs till I was 35 years old. Okay, so it's not all I ever did with my life.
Yeah.
We're talking about 7 years of my life that, for whatever reason, have been made my life.
Right.
So the other 42 years of my life, I guess I didn't do a goddamn thing. So they can kiss my ass, and they're liars. I'm not a liar. Whenever I've been asked if I'm doing something wrong by the police whenever I was having problems, I said yes, except for the prosthetic penis. I admit to that mistake. But I thought I was clever, and I realized I wasn't.
That was a good one. God damn.
I got to tell you the truth. I was lying then that was my penis. I tried to say I had two of them, and that's why I was popular, and they didn't believe me. But that was 2005.
Yeah,
and since then,
come on.
I've been at least if someone said, "Look, it was obvious I was having enormous problems," but I'm addressing them.
Right.
And unlike F. Scott Fitzgerald, who didn't have a second act for all you nitwit kids out there, I'm in a bad mood right now. For all you nitwits under 30 out there, there's a guy named F. Scott Fitzgerald. He was a writer. He wrote books. Ever heard of those? Fiction. The Great Gatsby. And he claimed there were no second acts in American life. And he meant this, that if once you made a mistake in your life, if you were a celebrated person, you wouldn't get a chance to be a celebrated person again. unfortunately, F. Scott Fitzgerald, I think he died at 35.
Jesus.
So he didn't live to know if there
there
was
was
a second
a
act in
second act.
American life. And I hazard to say that there are second acts. Witness Mickey Rourke and Robert Downey Jr. and countless other people that we don't know of that aren't famous, that have problems with addiction or problems with all kinds of things, depression, etc.
Right.
Have you since you quit? Have you picked up anything else? Like, because I mean, with
I
him-
play the guitar really badly.
Is that more of an addiction?
I played it once I played guitar for like 7 months in a row, like almost all day.
and you're still not good
I
at
still
it?
not any good at it. I can't even play a bar chord yet.
Tom.
I'm just getting into these.
Just so you know, sober, right to your
yeah,
left and to your
yeah.
right. So
Hi, buddy.
they
How are you?
they understand
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about.
Oh, yeah.
Why,
So
are
I
you in?
definitely,
Well, the
understand.
habits. It's the
Theism. It's the addiction. The addictive behavior just goes.
the ritual,
the
the rituals. It's the rituals. For me, like, you know what blew my mind is when I decided I'm not going to do this drug anymore. When I went to bed and when I got up, I tried really hard not to do it. I mean, I did it. And I'm very willful. I could, you know, I could get things. If I said I'm not going to do this or I'm going to do that, I would do it. But I couldn't do that, and I knew that a long time ago.
Wow.
I knew I was in trouble because I was really, honestly, did not want to do it, and I could not do it.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
then
that's-
I was
yeah.
really ashamed. First, it was just, oh my God, I was afraid. And so I was still enjoying it. And then the shame factor kicks in when you, so I got a couple people in my family who were just like, don't believe in this addiction model, or like, you're fucked up, man.
Yeah, get your ass straight.
And I
But
think
no,
you're
no,
lying.
They
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're lying, and you're fucked up, man. There's something fucking wrong with you. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You weak fucking punk ass bitch. I got talked to like that. And you know, your mother hasn't slept in 3 years. You motherfucker. You want to do this shit again? Once you can hang yourself.
Jesus.
You know, I'm from Detroit. I'm from Blue. You know, they didn't mean it literally, but they were disgusted with me.
Right.
And because of I did some of those things. You know, I was doing drugs, but I didn't do a lot of things I said I did. Whatever. Addiction is a disease because I know it is now because of Dr. Drew. And do you believe it's a disease?
Oh yeah, of course.
I have a genetic predisposition to narcotics, to any kind of mood altering substance.
I find any
mood-altering behavior.
any addictive
mood altering
behavior.
I was going to say mood altering behaviors. Sex is an addiction.
Food is
Food is an addiction. TV is an addiction. Money is an addiction. A lot of things.
Is Twitter?
I don't Twitter, and I don't text. Text is for broads. I don't get this texting thing. I got out of rehab. I didn't know what texting was.
Yeah, but I'm telling you one
Texting's
thing.
for broads.
It may be so, but once I realized I can
Maybe it's
take
not even for
pictures of my
broads.
cock
It could-
with a
it
cell
could-
phone, once you can send cock photos, texting
Brett
takes on a whole new
Brett
meaning.
Favre and that Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a really smart thing to do. I'm going to do that. You got a cell phone on you?
I do. I love a photo of your cock. Out of respect.
Why are you? That's called taking pictures of your cock. I'm talking about texting. Texting's an addiction that this whole country's beset with.
Yep.
Now, I texted briefly when I got out of rehab, and I realized that the information that I was being shared was totally innocuous and could best be relayed, whatever was important in it, which was usually nothing, in a phone conversation,
Yeah.
which would be far briefer, and all you had to do was hit one number.
Right.
So I don't understand that. I do think that people don't want to live anymore. They want to do this. They want to talk about life. And it's a really bizarre
Instead
addiction.
of getting out and actually doing something.
I got into a text war with somebody once.
That never happens.
Seems like
Wow.
you text a lot for a guy that doesn't text.
This was when I first. I don't text anymore. Here are my standard responses now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I'm kidding. No, yes, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Call Charles. I'm not home.
I get that, and people get mad at you if you only text a couple words. But that's all you
I
need
get
to
back
do.
from
with that shit.
certain guys like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I go,
If you want to talk,
I'm
let's
not
go.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So but you're on the phone, guys. I actually learned to hate.
I'm not on the phone either. I hate phones.
Oh, you do?
I never had a cell phone until 2004.
How do you like to communicate? You just one-on-one in person. to
Listen,
person?
Abraham Lincoln did fine without phones. I mean,
didn't really do
listen,
fine.
what has to be the real
Until he got
important.
to the theater.
maybe
Someone would have warned him
Yeah,
there,
maybe
Tom.
they got a text message
behind you.
If his
They were
guard
trying to
hadn't been
text him the whole
drunk,
morning.
if his guard hadn't been texting the guy at the bar to bring him some more booze and hadn't fallen asleep, and John Booth wouldn't have gotten by him. Dr. Conrad Murray, he's not a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any event, I don't text.
Okay. Can
And
I?
what was it? What were we saying? Something else.
Addiction.
I can handle things on the phone. Usually, the really important shit that has to be communicated to you, Opie, in your job, for instance, by your wife or girlfriend,
Right.
they're going to get a hold of you no matter what.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
they have beforehand when there was just one
Well,
phone
in
your house.
1985, when all of us were alive here living in New York, when I was and you guys were, we didn't have cell phones.
No.
Did
Use the
we
payphone, or you
get
had
to
it-
our appointments on time?
You
on
can't
our
picture
house.
life without it anymore,
Yeah.
though. I can't
What?
picture life.
I did.
You had a
What?
cell phone in 85?
I had the first,
You were a criminal?
one of the big ones.
yeah, he did.
How big was
Yeah,
it?
he's Canon. He had a fucking car phone.
Canon Mannix.
Listen, we got Jimmy Fallon on the line. He
What?
just wants to promote something really fast.
Okay.
And Tom Sizemore's here. We want to talk to him about
Hawaii
everything.
5-0, don't we?
Yeah, of course
Yes.
we do.
Love it.
Jimmy.
Sorry, this is the operator speaking. His line disconnected.
The
That's it?
operator speaking.
Who's Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon.
Oh, see, I've been out of pop culture for a minute.
Did we lose Jimmy then, I guess?
Yeah, I guess
He was
we
on
did.
hold for a while.
Yeah, well,
He's doing
can't,
Pink
deal
Floyd
with
week
that.
on his show, and he just wanted to promote it real fast. Sorry, Tom.
Jimmy Fallon. He's on
SNL.
on
Is he Jimmy Kimmel?
No.
No.
That's the sports writer. I mean,
Fallon's on
that's
after a while.
that's the talk show host.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jimmy
He's, funny.
Fallon.
He's actually funny.
Jimmy Fallon's a talk show host from SNL.
Oh, I know who he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, he's funny
Be
too.
on SNL.
Yeah, he's great.
Talented guy.
You know, it really is. How hard is it to get back into getting a gig like you've got on Hawaii 5-0, which is, I mean, huge show, great gig. Was it hard to convince people, look, I'm not fucking up at this point?
I guess so. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was difficult, I would gather. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you have to. You have to. I mean, these guys are sober.
Yeah.
You think I'm sober?
You seem sober, but I don't know you drunk. So, but
I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
I'm not drunk.
But you seem sober. Like I don't know you, but I would believe you if you said you're sober. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
I have
in
no
your
reason
eyes.
not to.
You can see it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Usually you can see it in the eyes.
Yeah, the
But
eyes.
either the pupils are too big or too
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
And they flicker.
Oh, really?
Generally speaking, that's how you can tell.
Yeah.
The cops will put the light in your eyes.
Oh, yeah,
and you
yeah.
can tell. And that's what they do it.
Yeah.
And mine are proper. You can't tell it to a studio executive. You think what I just did with these guys. That's not going to get you a job, okay? It's not that easy.
But you are a good actor, too, so.
No, but you can't do it to a studio executive. what I had to do was, and I not to get sanctimonious, but my manager and agent Charles Lego and Cynthia Booth just kept pushing on a job called Exit Strategy, which was a pilot. It was the most highly anticipated pilot of this season, and with Ethan Hawke, and I played the second lead ultimately, and it wasn't picked up for whatever reason.
Was it a military thing?
No, it was about black ops who go into, let's say you were working for the CIA and you were spying on, the Soviets or whatever, and you got made. We would go and get you and have an exit strategy.
Oh, okay.
I did well in the show, and my Heather Caden, who I'd like to thank too, and Peter Lenkoff, but Heather Caden has been my champion. She took my scenes from Exit Strategy and she took them over to Peter Lenkoff, the exec producer at Hawaii 5-0 over at Paramount. And she's at Fox. And she took my scenes over there and showed them to him. After the show wasn't picked up, I didn't know she'd done that. And then I was asked in by Peter Lenkoff, and I was hired.
Did they offer it to you, or did they ever ask you to read at this point?
I read for Exit Strategy, but I didn't read for Hawaii 5-0.
Are you insulted when they ask you to read, or no?
No, not after what I've been through. No.
Okay, because it's not. They're just seeing is he ready to work?
I saw the episode of Hawaii 5-0. That's one of my favorite shows. I watch it every Monday night. I watch it. Me and my wife, Hawaii 5, and Mike and Molly. Let's not forget that. She makes me watch
I
that.
want to thank everybody on that show, and Alex and everybody, Jimmy, Scotty, and all the people.
But when he came,
They're all listening.
when he came on, it was like one of those moments where you don't see him. You see the back of his head, and you're like, who the fuck is that? And then he's doing this thing with his finger. What the fuck? And then it turns around. It's like, oh, shit. Tom is on fuck. You know what I mean? Because I'm a big fan of the show. So
Yeah.
it's like, this
It's a good
fucking
scene, too, isn't it?
Sizemore's on fuck. So it's like going to get fucked up. And because, you're one of my favorite actors. You're a fucking great actor.
Thank
but
you
it was,
very much.
It's now that, that show's legit when they start getting those people on the
Yeah.
show.
And Billy Baldwin, who I
Yeah, he's coming on next
my
week.
next episode, he's on next week, but I'm not on the next 2 weeks, but I'm on the following week, and I'm going back to do another one, and I hope some more. But Billy and I have a great episode together, and that's the 5th episode of the season. You'll really like it if you like the show.
Yeah, he's coming on next week, right? Yeah.
I don't know if Billy's on next week.
Billy's on next week, yeah.
Yeah, and he's my ex-partner I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a cool little arc.
Okay, cool.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you an acting question? When you
How do you do it?
I said no.
It's a no.
I said no. Man.
No, I said no.
I've been in prison.
it's a because a guy like you who is so good, like in Natural Born Killers.
I'm not that good.
Oh, dude, you're great. You really
on.
are.
Natural
You're
Born
one of the
Killers?
great
Fuck
actors.
yeah.
He's
man.
one of the greatest actors of our generation.
And when you do you go like a guy like Brando would just never be off book?
What's that?
Are you off like? Is it important for you to memorize?
I may
the
do a
script
play about
first?
Marlon Brando.
Oh, really?
That my manager, Charles England, who's was Marlon's one of his dearest friends, interviewed Marlon the last I think it was 3-4 months of his life. He actually held his hand when he passed, and he's written a play about these interviews he had with him. And I'm hoping to do this play within the year, and we do it someplace small initially, like Minneapolis, and hoping to move it to Broadway. I play Mr. Brando. But do I work like Mr.
totally
Brando?
Is it important to you to
When
memorize the
when
script
I met
first
Mr.
or
Brando,
no?
you know what he said to me? I spoke to him a little bit. He went, "Well, you know, Tom, one of these days maybe you'll mature and quit acting and become a man, unlike myself."
Quit acting and become a man.
Unlike myself. I don't think he saw himself clearly.
No, huh?
And, I told De Niro that, and he went, "You know, I'm not sure. You know, whatever. You know what I mean?" Yeah, I wrote that shit down. I was like, "Bob, what does this mean? Is this some cryptic coalition you belong to? You want to interpret this for me? You know,
What are you talking about? Right?
I'm not sure. Fuck it. Am I missing something here?" And he went, "Cryptic coalition." I thought it was great. I said, "Will you interpret this for me?" He went, "Fuck you, no."
So, what is Jimmy? You want to know if he memorizes
Is it important
his
to
lines?
you? Because like Brando would just kind of want to see,
No, I
like,
just-
do the script, or you have to know every line.
I think preparation allows you the opportunity to play your jazz, so to speak.
Okay,
So if you know your instrument, you know, if you can play the guitar, I can't play it well. If you're you know what I mean. If you really know something well, you can then riff. If you know a football offense really well, then you can
Right.
You can
Work around it.
work. You know, you
Work
you know
around with
what
what you got.
Yeah, you know, because you know it so well. So I like to know it.
So your
I
energy
like
is to spend trying to remember.
I like to know it crystal clear.
Right.
And then if it takes if it goes somewhere, if I have the permission per the director to do that, then I might go that way.
Have you ever been intimidated in a scene with somebody you wanted to work with and working with, and kind of freaked you out? Like, I'm actually working with this person.
No, I got more excited. It was with Bob De Niro and Heat, and it was more exciting than it was intimidating.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, I get nervous.
I like that one.
Yeah, you've been in some fucking great.
I get nervous
movies.
doing
I
this.
just have little lines, though.
If there was a
Not you.
TV camera,
Oh.
if there was a TV camera in here, I might be really, really nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I do acting better. I act well better than I do life, but we're really working hard on doing life as well as we do the other thing, if not better. And that's what I'm working on. Really, is learning how to live, you know, a healthy life with my 2 6-year-old sons, and just making right actions. And if you do right actions, right things happen.
Yeah, it's easier being sober.
Oh my God! Think about all the things you don't got to do.
Yeah.
You don't got to think about it for a second. All the time.
Yeah, it's a very
All the copying.
time-consuming activity.
I mean, no matter how much money you have, the guys you cop from don't have enough to cop. I want to cop for 5 years. I don't have to cop anymore.
Right.
I don't have dope for 5 years.
Give me 5 years worth.
I never said that, but Keith Richards said it to his, in the Keith book. He wanted 5 years of heroin. The guy went, "Hey, dude, you know, they'll make 5 years of heroin."
5 years of heroin.
That's what he wanted. He wanted 5 years of heroin.
I gotta
You
read
know what
that
my habit
book.
is? I want 5 years of heroin, man. I want to buy them all.
People love that book. I gotta fucking read it.
I read it twice in a row.
It's good.
I
I
finished
hear.
it and I started right over again.
Really?
It's that good.
Can you
and
relate?
I like to read.
You can relate to a lot of the
No,
stuff in
it's
there.
not just
or
it's not just that. It's him.
being honest.
It's him being honest. It's the period. It's a big seismic shift in America and in London and in Western culture. And he didn't forget a damn thing.
Yeah.
And he writes it on the back of the book. He goes, "It's as hard as this may be to believe, I haven't forgotten a thing, not a word or sentence or anything that happened, especially Mick."
Wow.
Wow.
And he hasn't. And he hasn't. And the other guys in the band have said, Now that he said that, that is exactly what happened.
What does he think of Mick? You could give it
Read
away.
the book.
I'm going to read
Well, you
it
know
anyway.
what they think of each other. Mick's in with a new band already. I mean, Mick's been with a new band for a while, but he just announced he's going out with it's better than Rolling Stone.
But they were good for each other for so many years.
And I think,
I'm sure
I
that
think they're going to stay together. I think they'll go tour again. I think they will.
Yeah.
If for no other reason, because Keith loves it so much. Keith loves to be a Rolling Stone.
He's the only guy that can tell Mick to go fuck himself and kind of get away with it.
And at the end of the book is really uplifting. He says, "I'm finally what I always wanted to be. I'm a good husband, a good son, and a good man, and I'm playing dominoes with my dad."
his father's still alive.
Well, right near the end of the book, he was. Yeah, he had. I met Mr. Richards, and he plays dominoes all day with his pop.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, I actually want to.
He's a real British guy.
Yeah, sure.
I
Don't
started
mess with
the
a
book.
shepherd's pie. You don't mess with a shepherd's pie. I mean, really seriously, if there's a shepherd's pie made, you don't touch it.
Really?
He dips into it first.
That-
And he's really cool.
That fucking book is intimidating, man, Tom.
Oh, man, you'll
it's
love that
big.
book.
It's thick,
Look,
Tom.
and it's Keith speak too. It's Keith speak though.
It might be 600 pages, I
It's
think.
629 pages.
629
I like a good
pages.
225.
It's gonna.
Is there 200?
You like 25 pages of book?
A 225
Oh,
book.
225.
Yeah, 225 is about my range, too.
Yeah, I know I could read it while I'm shitting for like 2
But maybe-
weeks. I'll be finished.
Maybe there's
So you like
230
Big
pages.
Lights, Big City. What was it called?
What?
Bright Lights, Big City.
Yeah, you
yeah,
like
yeah.
that book a lot.
I never read it. I can't read
172
none.
pages.
Ooh.
That's two
that's,
shits.
That's beautiful.
Two shit shaker
Wow,
and you're
yeah.
out.
But, with the Keith book, if there's 230 pages of pictures, I might be in.
No, there's not 230
Not-
pages
ah,
of pictures. There's like
fuck.
18.
So I got to read over 600 pages.
That's a real
Well, you know what you can do with that
biography,
book? You know what you can do? Because I did try to go through it a third time.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I read it twice in a row. I really did. You can skip around. But I already read it, so I don't know if you can skip around.
I don't like that early year shit when you get into
Why don't you know?
The family stuff?
a
Oh,
little
he's not
bit.
with, listen, he gets out. He's into them touring by page 72.
Perfect. I like that. Get
Yeah.
into the real shit.
They spend too
Fast.
much time talking about family. A lot of biographies spend too much time talking
Yeah,
about the history of the
he gets in
parents.
there. He says some really important things about his mother and father and the way he grew up, and then bam, he meets Mick.
Okay. I'm going to read this book because of Tom Sizemore now.
Yeah, you definitely
Absolutely.
you make it
It's
seem
one
like
of the best
interesting.
celebrity books you'll ever read in your
That's
life.
what everyone's saying.
And it's also about the 60s, the 70s, and drugs. And
Big Stones fan, Tom?
I was never a really, truly huge Stones fan, but there are certain parts of the Stones that I love. But I always thought he had there was something honest about him, even with his troubled life
Right.
when I was a teenager. And then when I met him finally, he was just such a gentleman and such a kind guy.
Right.
And he's magnanimous, he's generous, and I think he's completely monogamous with his Miss Pallenberg said he was, and
Right.
and I think his wife now, who we all know who she is.
What's your favorite Stones song? Tough. I know it's tough because there's so many. Give me a couple.
Give
you
me
like.
Shelter, Angie.
Give Me Shelter's
Can't you hear
on
me
my
knocking?
list.
Exile on Main Street. There's a couple songs. Exile on Main Street. Angie. Give me Shelter. Get Off My Cloud. Satisfaction. There's a lot. Street Fighting Man.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite
Give Me
Stone
Shelter
song.
is a great song.
Give Me Shelter. That's Keith's song.
Really?
All children, it's just a shot away. It was after the Kent State incident. And they did that at Altamont. It was the first time they ever did it was at Altamont when the incident happened with the gentleman, Meredith.
The stabbing.
Right, I got stabbed.
Meredith, what's his name? He got stabbed by the Hells Angels.
Hey, you as an actor, have you noticed in the time that you've been working how content has changed a little bit, or the softening of certain content in the
I'm
writing?
trying to get used to this new pop culture of basic soft shit.
It's awful, isn't it?
I don't know if it's awful. It's just a different kind of shit.
It's mindless.
Well,
There's
I don't think we knew that.
There's no depth to a lot of the
Opie,
entertainment.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to. I got to be nice. I shouldn't be saying this.
I'll say it for you. You don't even have to agree.
Because,
There's no
listen,
depth.
Listen,
The Kardashians are really famous, and
that's
I'm
what that's
obsessed
what
because I don't even know why.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Hawaii 5-0, and I'm not talking
Right.
about.
Oh no, I know.
I'm talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the TMZ. I'm calling it the TMZ, the
TMZ
the new
culture.
information TMZ culture,
Right.
And the information sex shit highway.
Where someone like Kim Kardashian is ridiculously famous,
a goddamn star.
and I don't know. I don't know why. Yes, she's beautiful.
We don't
Yes,
even know,
yes.
if she gives good head.
Well,
She does.
She
Paris does. That's
She
why I
does.
like Paris Hilton, because she was a trooper. Like that video,
Okay.
that was a very
but
sexy
that shouldn't
video.
necessarily make you
a star.
a icon.
Right.
Yeah, it used to make
I don't
it
know.
I don't
I might
get it.
It used to
disagree.
be you kind of had to be like John Lennon.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, I kind of like Bob Dylan better than her.
Yeah.
He's written better songs than her.
I don't know. That one, The
I mean-
Stars Shine, is a good song. Whatever that
Well,
one is.
I like
Dylan rules.
I like a Rolling Stone better, and I like
Subterranean, Homesick Blues.
I like that better. I like Blonde on Blonde better. I like Blood on the Tracks better.
How's the Rising Sun?
I like a lot of Dylan songs better. Perhaps all of his songs are better than her songs. John Wesley Harding is better.
Yeah.
Ballad in Plain D is
All
better.
Along the Watchtower.
To Ramona is better.
I think I'm out of Dylan songs. I don't know that many.
I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm a Dylan fanatic.
I've kind of started to like him more later in life. Like I
Most
never
of the
listened
time
to
is
him
better.
growing up.
Most of the time, one of the best songs ever written. It's buried on.
You ever
song-
watch?
most of the time, it's on.
You ever hear his radio show?
Oh yeah, he's there.
That radio show fucking ruled. I don't
He
think
just
it's
tells
around
the truth.
anymore.
I gotta tell you,
Yeah. Yeah.
that voice. It was just a bunch of shit,
Yeah.
I'm a troubadour. That's something he said.
You got him down.
I'm a troubadour. I couldn't do it again. It was magic, Did you see the interview he did with Ed Bradley? It's a very great interview. You should see it. It's on 60 Minutes. And it was Mr. Bradley's passed away, but the very end of the interview, he's talking to Bob, and he goes, "Okay, how do we end this? What do you want to say?" And Bob and Dylan goes, "Well, you know what? On the way over here, I was in the cab, and I was stopped over there in Central Park South, and I looked out the window, and I saw these kids playing frisbee there in Shepherd's. Shepherd's. What's it called?
I don't know.
Shepherd's Meadow or Sheep's Meadow?
Oh, Sheep Meadow.
Sheep Meadow, and I saw him playing frisbee, and when the frisbee went over this kid's head, and it came all the way out to the curb, and I saw him run up the hill, and he couldn't have been 20 years old, and I looked at him, and he looked up, and the light was going to turn green, and I said, "Hang on," and I looked at him again, and I thought, he's 19, 20 years old, and I thought of myself at 19 and 20, and oh God, how I'm missing it. And he went, "What are you trying to say?" And he went, "Oh, I'm saying I'd like to be 19 or 20 again, I guess." He goes, "Okay, you can go back and be 19 or 20 again, but no guarantee you'll be Bob Dylan." In a second, he goes, "In a second."
Oh, fuck yeah.
And Bradley can't believe it. He goes, "You trade in." He goes, "In a second." "So what do the songs mean to you?" And he goes, "In a second."
Wow. I
So
like
that says a lot about the man in a way.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's neither good nor bad. It's just he'd rather live it all over again.
Right.
How old is Bob Dylan?
72.
72.
No, 70. 70, just turned
I wonder if
70.
you start
He's
thinking
70
that way
years
when you
old
get
now.
to that age. I wonder if that's
He's
normal.
still out 132 days a year.
Sure.
Like, would most people, like say a Jagger even or Keith Richards, would they feel the same way as they hit 70 or 75? Maybe that's normal.
Dude,
Like,
I would-
your accomplishments mean nothing because you realize that most of your life is lived.
Listen, I'm 49. I'm halfway to dead, or 2/3 of the way to dead, really. So
I would take years in a second.
I take it. I go back.
fucking
I go back to
second.
19 in a second.
I don't know.
Just for the
Do you get a little knowledge with you to take
Oh
back
no,
with you?
you can't take any of that with
No
you.
knowledge.
No knowledge.
Just 19
the
again.
wonder, the rebirth of wonder.
Nice. That's a good
I
time.
wouldn't do it.
I like my life.
I wouldn't
really
do
do.
it
I
either.
like.
I like my life
I
too.
kind of like
But
it. I don't think I'd go back.
The feel that rebirth. It wouldn't be a rebirth. It would be the birth of wonder over again. Because when I first moved to New York, it was like a kaleidoscope of of great things.
Right.
I was from Detroit, and it was just gray. And I came here, and it was just a kaleidoscope of beauty, I thought.
See, I was scared and unhappy at that time and self-hating, and I didn't like it when I was 19.
drunk
I
at
got sober.
Yeah, I was actually sober when I was 18. But
I got sober too.
Yeah, I was still.
He's been sober since
I got sober when I was 15.
Yeah.
These two
sober
guys
for
got
25
sober
years.
really, really early there.
But I wouldn't want to be 19 again. That sucked.
Yeah, it
Going
was
to
scary.
meetings and trying to getting all fucked up because not
What
knowing
were
how
you-
to
what were you
bang
doing?
chicks.
What were you doing?
Sober
What were you
dances.
Walking up to
What
girls
were
and
you
trying
doing?
to talk about God.
What were you doing? What were you
Higher
doing?
power.
What were you doing? Hoofing gasoline?
No, alcohol and drugs. I did everything, mainly alcohol and
Really, you were that
coke.
You were
and
that bad at
weed.
kid?
Yeah,
At that young
15,
age?
yeah.
How did you find that stuff so early?
I hung out with the wrong kids, but it was easy. It
Where
was
were you from?
easy.
Boston?
Yeah, how'd you know? Oh, my
B
hat.
on your hat and your
Sorry.
accent.
My shitty accent.
Bobby, you have a B on your hat.
Yeah.
It's a
I forgot
Boston
about
Red
the
Sox
hat.
hat, and you have a Boston accent. Besides that, it was I just guessed.
Did Bobby really go out?
Yeah, exactly. It was either Moscow or Boston. And I took a stab in the
It was
dark.
like Red Auerbach going, "How did you know I was a GM of the Celtics?"
I forgot I had a hat on.
I know you love Hawaii 5-0.
It's like Parcells saying, "How did you know I coached the Giants?" He's got a Giants cap on.
It's not like I have a mirror in front of me. I forgot I had a hat on. Oh my God. It was a Boston hat. I fucking know.
My eyes
got
are
the
a mirror.
accent,
That's funny. My eyes are a mirror.
That's funny. He goes, you dumb B on your hat and you stupid accent.
I didn't say that.
No, that's what he said.
I said that. I meant it too.
But that's
He's
what he
one of my
heard.
best friends.
That's what Bobby hears. Though.
That's what I hear.
That's how he hears it.
You're funny.
Thank you,
I
sir.
I don't know how funny you were,
Just tell the
actually.
listeners.
If I could go back.
What'd you say?
I said, could you tell the listeners?
Yeah, he is really funny.
If I
He's
could
a
go
very nice
back,
guy, too.
If I
Thank
could go
you.
back and
Thank
do
you,
it
sir.
all over again, I'd do that.
Do what over again?
The whole life. I wouldn't go back to 19 because it sucked. But if I could go back to like
Well,
4,
it didn't suck for
or
Dylan.
2.
He had arrived in New York at 19.
Yeah.
And
He was
that's why
already a
talking about-
superstar.
No, he wasn't. It was
19?
Right prior to it. It was right prior. They were talking about being right prior to the stardom.
When did he hit?
At 19, almost 20.
Okay. 'Cause
He,
I knew
he
was
went.
young.
He went
I
to
knew
the
it was
studio.
early.
He went into the studio and did the first record, which was the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan.
When was he with?
He's been at it 50
Susie
years.
Rotolo.
No, I was saying about Joan Baez. When was
Right
that
after
time?
Susie Rotolo. Susie Rotolo is the gal who's with him on the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan on the album cover. Mm-hmm. That's Susie Rotolo, and that is I think it's Greenwich Avenue or Perry or Hudson. I'm not sure which street it is. It's one of the, it's downtown.
Yep.
And that was his the love of his life at that point. And Joan Baez, I'm not sure was a lover. I don't know, but he met her at the Newport Jazz Festival, and they did "With God on Our Side." He played it for her. She had heard of him, of course, and he played "With God on Our Side," and then she thought he was, touched by.
You think Dylan gets the proper respect?
I don't think he can get enough. I think he's the greatest artist of the 20th century.
I can't deny that.
I mean, he's one of the greater ones. I mean, he's got to be in the top kind of 5.
And Manny wouldn't put him on stage. Manny, who used to own the Comedy Cellar, which we work at, owned Cafe Fiend John, and Dylan came in the '60s when he was young and unknown. And Manny laughed about it later in life, like what a dope I was to not see who this guy was. But he just didn't like him. He's like, nah, I didn't think he was very good, and he just wouldn't put him on. And Dylan talked about him in his biography.
Can I say something? Can I say something about a friend of mine who's gone, and I never talk about him really because it's so sad. Jeff Buckley was a friend of mine, and he was only in the public eye very briefly. He did an album called Grace, and he drowned in Tennessee. He's doing a record, and I just wanted to say that Jeff Buckley had Dylan-like qualities and Dylan talent, but he had a better voice. You guys remember who he was?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did a version of Hallelujah it's hard to beat. Lover, you should have come over. If you go on YouTube and go Jeff Buckley live in Chicago, and I guarantee you'll be hooked.
Let's do Jeff Buckley as we leave the show. Hallelujah.
Jeff Buckley's performance on right off the album, off of Grace.
You hear that, E-Rock? He's just
Yeah, he's
in there.
E-Rock, do you hear that? We only have time for like one more minute, by the way. They're telling us 10 o'clock he has to go.
I don't have to go.
Oh, you know? That's what they were
if my manager said so, I have to go.
I believe it's coming from outside.
It's coming from my manager. I have to go. But I want to send up my condolences to Mrs. Buckley.
When did he pass away?
Tim Buckley was a contemporary of Bob's, and he passed too.
Did they ever figure out what happened to Jeff Buckley?
He drowned.
No, I know he drowned, but was he on something? I mean, or you don't want to talk about it? That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
He was a sweetheart. I saw him at the.
No worries.
And I knew him before, and he was an angel. It was sad.
Okay.
And Tom is promoting just to.
No, but I wanted to say, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
It's slumber.
Oh, you're.
Wait, I'm confused.
I don't know. Tom's looking at his own bio that we have. Obviously, Hawaii 5-0 is Mondays at 10 on CBS.
Wait, what are we looking for, Tom?
Tom is looking through.
I'm looking for the name of
Our one sheet
Vincent
about him.
Fryer is the character I play on Hawaii 5-0.
Right.
And that's I'm the head of internal affairs. And Slumber Party Slaughter is a movie that I did with Ryan O'Neal and Keith Carradine and Rebecca. I'm just going to call her Rebecca because she's my dear friend and my biggest one of my bigger champions. Her and Heather Caden. And sounds like a silly title, but it's a really wonderful movie. And Rebecca directed the movie. Rebecca Cheney, and is her name. And it's a terrific movie. And 5-0 has been a great experience. And you liked it. And
it was the first. Last week was great.
Raves about it.
You know, it's great because you can always tell a really good actor when they're on TV. Because TV actors sometimes just because TV, you have to. It's very quick shooting. let's go. It's not like a film where you get to take your time and get into it, but you can always tell like a Vince D'Onofrio or Tom Sizemore. They do these little these little things that make you go, "Who the fuck is that?" And then he turned around, you're like, "Ah, shit."
Well, I'm reading your high school journal, or high school yearbook.
Yeah, her yearbook. Yeah,
and I'm just trying to psych her out a little bit, too. Yeah. I mean, that was the idea, because I know she pulls her gun on me because I'm an intruder.
She's got her gun on the back of her. She goes, "I swear, I'm going to shoot you."
I go, hang on a second. You certainly have a lot of people who care about you, and I'm saying that because I'm not one of them. And she's really good. Everybody on 5-0, from my makeup artist Jeff and the hair department, and Heather and Peter and Steven, and directed the episode with Billy and me, and Alex and Scott and DDK, and have been wonderful. It's been a great experience.
Good for you.
We have to wrap at 10 or no?
Yeah.
We do. Okay, because Tom has other press to do.
Yeah, your people are saying you
okay.
Gotta get
He
out
has
of
to
here,
go. His manager saying,
Tom, I like you, man. I like Tom Sizemore. Absolutely,
yes.
fucking absolutely.
Monday nights.
Because you're an honest guy. I like your
Thanks.
honesty, which is very rare in a
Thanks.
position like yours, sir.
Yeah,
And-
everything Tom does, you guys know, just support. He's fucking brilliant.
And our fly fishing video is doing well, Bobby.
Yeah,
Do you
so
fly
that
fish,
time
really?
was on.
Me and Bobby. Bobby is really into it. I go as a goof.
I want to do that.
It's great. You should come with us.
Maybe I get your number when we wrap here.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw the movie with Brad, I've wanted to do it.
Yeah, we go up to
It's-
Roscoe, New York.
I thought it was a joke, and I went. I do
it's
like
beautiful,
it.
isn't it?
That's the
I
best.
really do like it. I don't know if it'll become a hobby, but I'll go with Bobby every once in a while. And we film videos and get really silly and stupid. So
That's
Kicked
good.
out of motels.
and get kicked out of my
I can't do that.
No, I know.
By the way, I just want you to know how much it's going to upset me if you actually become friends with Tom Sizemore and go fly fishing. How that?
No, I'm going to go. I'm going to
okay,
go fly
but just
fishing
don't go with him.
No,
but
I
I
am.
That'll make me very
great.
jealous.
Well, who else am I
We'll
gonna go
take you with you. You can come.
Okay, let's all do
You
that.
come with.
Well, I don't know now.
Oh, so you,
Can't do that. We can't get him to go fly.
I'm sure I can go now because he
that's
objected
one
to
of my
it.
best friends. He won't go fly fishing with me. He thinks
Right.
it's
He'll go fly
stupid.
fishing with me.
Yes.
If you're there, he'll come.
I'd fucking
you're a star
I'd actually buy a boat and bring it up. Come on, Tom, let's go.
Me and you, buddy.
You're bullshitting.
this
You know that.
This asshole won't go fly fishing with us, but fuck.
All right, we'll see you guys.
We're going fly fishing with Tom Sizemore, Bobby. I know.
I can't
I know
wait.
it now.
Thanks, Opie. See
That's
you
the
guys.
hatch
All right,
three.
brother.